What's going on, everybody? You're watching New York Knicks Now by Chat Sports. I'm your host, Marshall Green. NBA free agency day 2 is pretty much in the books. And no, the New York Knicks did not make a move in free agency, but they did make a move today in trading Obi Toppin. We'll talk about that around the corner. But all eyes are focused on Donte DiVincenzo. The Knicks have their eyes set on him. He sounds like he's going to be a New York Knick. But Chris P., I'm not going to say his last name because I always mess it up, and he's my guy. Chris, I appreciate your work, man. He does work with Knicks Film School. He also covers the Knicks as a beat reporter. And he tweeted this out earlier today. Not sure how the Houston Rockets negotiations with Dillon Brooks have gone, but I don't believe all is ready to get a signature. A couple hours later, Dillon Brooks ended up signing with the Houston Rockets. But he also, and this is why we're showing the tweet, included this interesting nugget right here. Chris said, Jalen Green and free agent Donte DiVincenzo had dinner in New York City the other night, perhaps as a part of an effort to court Donte DiVincenzo to Houston. The Houston Rockets had a whole bunch of salary cap space, and they were one of the teams that could outbid the New York Knicks for Donte DiVincenzo. The Knicks would have had to give DiVincenzo that non-taxpayer mid-level exception, which is at about $12.4 million per year. Maybe, though, with the Houston Rockets giving Dillon Brooks that deal, they made another deal for a couple of other guys. Maybe they don't have the salary cap space anymore for DiVincenzo, but I am a little bit concerned that he was having dinner with pretty much the Houston Rockets. Also, it is reported that Ian Begley said that DiVincenzo will have meetings with teams across the association throughout the weekend. So as much as I want to believe that the deal is done for DiVincenzo and he's already a New York Knick, it does not sound like it is done whatsoever, and he is going to continue to see what his price point is across the association, as he should. A good agent is going to advise his client to go out there and see how much it could be paid, and if the Knicks can't offer the most money, it may not be the most likely, but I do believe that DiVincenzo will sign with the Knicks, and I think it's going to be a good fit with New York. And with Obi Toppin out of this roster, unfortunately, I am sad by that. I'll put some more thoughts on paper in just a second. But you needed a guy like DiVincenzo. You need a guy like DiVincenzo. 39% from three. The Knicks pretty much lost in the playoffs because they couldn't hit an outside shot outside of Jalen Brunson in that Miami Heat series. And now with a bench unit of Quickly, Josh Hart, and Hartenstein, you need another bench player. Maybe that's DiVincenzo. Maybe that's somebody else. We'll talk about some other top free agents around the corner. But I've gotten this question a couple times today. Am I worried about DiVincenzo signing with the New York Knicks or not signing with the New York Knicks? I'm not worried. I believe it's going to happen. And I'm going back to what I continued to say. Josh Hart. Josh Hart did not opt into his contract of $12.9 million when all signs pointed to him getting 4 for 72, $18 million per year. And honestly, maybe even more than that after we've seen guys like Dillon Brooks get $20 million, Bruce Brown getting $23 million. There's no way Josh Hart opted into his deal so the Knicks could not sign Donte DiVincenzo. He opted in so the Knicks could sign DiVincenzo. DiVincenzo, CAA. The Knicks, CAA. Villanova ties. It just seems like it is going to happen. Am I worried? No. Am I upset it hasn't happened? Yes, it's always fun when your team is active in an NBA free agency early on. But whether the Knicks sign DiVincenzo in a minute, whether they sign him in a week, whether they sign him in a month, he's still Donte DiVincenzo, and he is still the same player. So no, I'm not worried, and you guys should not be worried either. Until he signs with another team, I will not be worried. I do know this, though. If the Knicks make a move, whether it's DiVincenzo or somebody else, we are going to keep you guys in the loop on everything surrounding the orange and blue. So if you love the Knicks and you're looking for videos every single day on the latest news and rumors surrounding the New York Knicks and this basketball team, hit that sub button. We would really appreciate it. And if you are subscribed to the channel, I want you to type me in the comment section down below. I want to know where the subs are at. All righty. Some people have asked me maybe if Donte DiVincenzo signs with the Rockets or signs with another team, who could the Knicks pivot to? So Bleacher Report came out with an article a couple of minutes ago talking about the best free agents left. Number one on their list is Christian Wood. I don't believe the New York Knicks are going to have that much interest in Christian Wood. He's a good threat on the offensive end. He could score it at all three levels, but he's not a defender. He could replace a guy like Obi Toppin, but I believe Christian Wood is looking for a bigger role than that. He wants to be a starter. He wants to go play somewhere where he can get a lot of minutes. He'd be a great player off the bench. I'm just not sure that that role is with the Knicks. Another top free agent is Grant Williams, the forward for the Boston Celtics. I've been a guy that would actually be in the camp of signing a big guy like Grant Williams. He is undersized, but he's got the muscle. You see the shoulders on him. I think a player like him that pretty much shoots 40% from three, can guards pretty much 1 through 4. I mean, we've seen him even guard Bam Adebayo a little bit in the Eastern Conference Finals. Grant Williams, maybe he's a guy they look at for that biannual salary of $4.5 million. Another player that Bleacher Report has listed is P.J. Washington from the Charlotte Hornets. He shot a career high 38.6% from downtown in 2020 and 2021, but that mark has gone down in each season since. This past year, shooting just 34.8% from there. 15 points per game, had his best scoring season of his career. Would not be shocked if the Knicks looked in his direction. You're also looking at guys like Mason Plumlee, Kelly Oubre. Those are really the top guys left. Maybe they shift their focus to Oubre if they can't land DiVincenzo and try to get a wing. Let's close out today's show just recapping the news of the day that surrounds the New York Knicks. Obi Toppin. I'm going to miss Obi. I am. Obi Toppin has been traded from the New York Knicks to the Indiana Pacers for a pair of second-round picks. And I know on face value it doesn't look like a good deal. If you're a Knicks fan, you could probably be mad at this, and you have the right to be mad at this. I'm not happy with this trade, but when I take emotion out of it and I look at the facts, what are the facts? Obi Toppin didn't want to be here. He didn't have the role here that he wanted. He wanted to be out. And he's going to be a free agent next summer. And it didn't seem like the Knicks were going to be willing to pay Obi Toppin the type of money it was going to take to keep him in New York. So if he didn't want to be here, he wanted to be somewhere else, and you're not going to pay him in free agency, what are you doing? And you needed to clear up a spot on the bench for somebody you're going to sign. While I'm not thrilled with the package that came back for Toppin, I'm not too upset about it. I'm going to miss Obi. Some of my favorite games and some when we did these watch parties on the show, I love going over the top and being extra and talking about Obi Toppin throwing down a slam in the fast break. But as we know, we didn't get the minutes he ever really needed to develop. And part of that reason is when he was drafted, the Knicks didn't think Julius Randle would be a 2-time All-NBA player over the next 3 years. But his minutes got cut from year 2 to year 3. The thing that stinks, though, is when the kid got minutes, when the kid got burned, when he was able to start ball games, he was able to produce at a pretty elite level. I mean, there's not a lot of power forwards in this league that give you 21, 5, and 3 on 57% from the field and 44% from downtown. That's why I think P.J. Washington is an interesting name. Maybe the Knicks go and look at him as their backup power forward. Can you get DiVincenzo for the full mid-level exception and maybe P.J. Washington for that biannual exception? I think that'd be pretty cool, but then you would be back to a 10-man rotation. So it's all going to be, depending on what Tom Thibodeau and Leon Rose want to do, but I do not believe that the Knicks are done making moves. I believe they're going to sign someone for that mid-level exception, and I would not be surprised if they sign someone else or make another move. And if they do, we are going to break it down on this channel, youtube.com/KnicksTV. If you want to stay in the loop on everything surrounding the Knicks, subscribe. We've been live on the channel for the past 2 days, about 3 hours each time. We've put out like 7 videos over the past 2 days, and we are going to continue to crush the coverage here on this channel. So subscribe if you love the Knicks and want videos every day on the New York Knicks, the orange and blue. Let's close out the video with this right here. Who do you want the Knicks to sign next? Is it DiVincenzo? Is it P.J. Washington? Is it a guy like Grant Williams? If you could get Donte DiVincenzo and Grant Williams, I know Williams is an undersized 4, but he's absolutely a 4, especially off the bench. Or maybe it's someone like Christian Wood, who I think would be out of the Knicks price point. But let me know, who do you want the Knicks to sign? If you made this far in the video, show some love. Hit that thumbs up icon. Show the bosses here at Chat Sports that you like what Marshy is cooking.